Pema Chodron has played the same role in modern Buddhism that thoughtful Democrats have played in relation to capitalism. In both cases, the message is your suffering is manageable, it's no one's fault, don't blame the boss, and you can breathe through it. And there's no better way to see how this works on a material level and to see how modern appropriations of Asian spiritualities are mobilized to manage and rationalize capitalist cruelty than to watch her be interviewed by Ezra Klein. Now, the interview is just out this morning, and so this is an uncharacteristically quick reaction for me. And a little later, I might go through line by line to look at the metaphysics in detail, but I have journalism background in this, and I wanted to get this framing challenge out there before Pema's lovely voice puts too many people to sleep. So, the main thing you want to know about Pema Chodron is that she rose to global fame within a neo-Buddhist cult called Shambhala International, founded by Chogyam Trungpa, a charismatic Tibetan refugee monk, who was a serial sexual abuser of his students, a fan of fascist aesthetics, and who was waited on hand and foot by 7 very young spiritual wives, one of whom died by suicide. He was also a terminal alcoholic whose blackouts were interpreted by his core followers as mystical trances. He seemed to be prolific in books and paintings, but there was always a team of mostly women around him doing most of the work, including toilet care. As his lieutenant, Pema Chodron was aware of these abuses, but never really took a stand, while benefiting from the infrastructure of the group. She even victim-blamed one woman who came forward to report on one of the many instances of sexual abuse committed by group leaders. Chodron did apologize for that, so there's that. So there's an accountability and an integrity issue, but what's crucial to understand about Chodron's spirituality, her content, is that it reflects her skill in bypassing injustice, in understanding suffering as inevitable, something you must rise to meet with your individual wisdom. That's why she's a pillar of neoliberal, New Age psychological spirituality, valuing vulnerability over courage, quietism over resistance, individual piety over solidarity, and never, ever talking about material conditions. So how perfect at this time for one of the leading culture whisperers of the democratic elite, Ezra Klein, to platform this spiritual teacher, introduced by his confession of uncertainty and powerlessness, when he's actually quite certain about the politics he wants to prosecute, and when he holds a tremendous amount of power. How perfect it is for this archetype of the, gee, the world is so complicated class. We really don't know how to navigate this genocide thing. To hand the mic to someone who says your uncertainty and lack of backbone is actually a universal trait that we can all comfort ourselves about. Okay, as I said, I'm not addressing the content here, but I did notice that in the 3 recommended books finale, Pema is still recommending a book by her abusive mentor. So I guess that's some consistency and equanimity for you.